Wow, this has been an unbelievable day, one that I know I'll remember for a long time. You don't often get the number 2 team on your home court very often, especially when you have all these people that have come out. I mean, Hawkeye Nation is second to none. Their support, their understanding of the game, and like even know when to cheer and when not to cheer. It's just, they're amazing. Our 5 seniors, you know, I'm just so proud of them and what they've accomplished, what they've built this program into be. You know, Hannah had a spectacular game today. We had 4 people in double figures. I love that. We out-rebounded them. I'm very happy about that. And you look at the paint points, that's pretty impressive, you know. So I know it's gonna, we have 3 more games next week, hopefully. You know, it could be a rematch. I don't know. We've got a tough go of it to get there.
Lisa, there was a point right after Molly went down, you guys were up 10, and then they, I think, hit 2 threes to get it down to 4, and then that was kind of the biggest push they made. Just how did everybody kind of regroup there, you know, in a tough scene?
That was tough because Molly had just went down, and I'm pretty sure that's the time you were talking about. You know, anytime that happens, our team is so close that it's hard emotionally to regain your focus. I mean, you're worried about your teammate, you're thinking about the future instead of being in the now, and that was a really tough thing to overcome. I'm really proud of Kylie and Sid and how well they're playing and taking up the slack that, you know, Molly's given us so much this year, and we really need her. And so I don't know the extent of her injury. I won't know till tomorrow. Everybody just say a few prayers for me, would you?
Is it an ankle or knee?
Lisa, that first match against Ohio State, you guys lost the rebounding battle. And then the turnover battle against Ohio State is always very important. You won the rebounding battle and the turnovers were tied at 16. Just talk about those 2 areas of the game today and how important they were.
Yeah, we felt like we gave up too many O boards against them at their place. And we did a much better job of that. And even like we had 16 turnovers today, but a lot of them were unforced, quite honestly, in the beginning of the game. I mean, it wasn't like their press caused us the turnovers. It was kind of us, you know, self-inflicted a little bit. And they're good quarter-court defense, but at the same time, I think that we did a good job of handling the press.
What was Kylie doing defensively? She ended up with 4 steals, and she just seemed to be a bat out of hell, sort of.
You know, Kylie does such a great job of anticipating, keeping her hands high, and she was in the front of that zone that we were playing, and she did a really good job with that as far as just, you know, anticipating and getting a hand on it. We always say deflections lead to steals. All you have to do is get a deflection. Don't worry about getting a steal, get a deflection, because that's going to lead to something good.
Hannah, can you just talk about your game today? I think you drew more fouls than anybody on either side. You tied for the high in rebounding, 23 points, 9 and 12. How important was it to you to come out, especially on an emotional day like this, and play like that?
Yeah, I think it was really important to come out like that. My teammates are really good at getting me the ball, and drawing fouls I think is really fun. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. It is a tough day for me. I'm a really emotional person, so yeah, it was great for me to come out and play like that.
Hannah, when Kylie and I think it was Gabby was playing pretty good perimeter defense too, what does that do for somebody like you who's at the bottom of that zone and get you guys going?
Oh, it's awesome. If the ball doesn't come in to the paint, then they're not going to score. So I think it's awesome. I love that Kylie was getting her hands on so many, the 4 steals. I'm just so proud of her. She's always been a really great athlete, so I'm glad that everybody gets to see that too.
At least over the last two games, we've seen Gabby Marshall start to knock down threes. Today, she's hitting threes, has her tongue out, she's having a fun time. How important is it to see that side of her going into the postseason now?
Yeah, I mean, you saw last year. I mean, she was crucial to our advancing into the national championship game with her play. I mean, everybody knows what she does for us defensively, but when she can add that, like tonight going 4 for 7 from the 3, it just opens up everything for everybody else. And we love Gabby so much, and we know how hard she works at it, and so we're just thankful that, you know, she gets that recognition and that ball goes through the net, splashes through the net for her.
So it's another historical day for Caitlin, passing Pete Maravich. I wonder if you could talk about both that and the fact that you have an Woodland and Mile here today, but both of those things, because it's such a historical connection. with the women's game as well.
Yeah, it really is, you know. They used to call her Ponytail Pete when she was a little kid, and now she has the record. It's ironic, you know, and I'm just so happy for Caitlin, and I think she represents the university, our sport, in such a, she's such a good ambassador, and I'm very thankful for that. But for us to have Maya Moore here and Lynette Woodard, are you kidding? You know, Maya Moore was the person that shook Caitlin's hand when Caitlin was little. And it's just that kind of pass it along, right? Because now Caitlin's that person like Maya Moore that can do that for other people. So I love that. And then Lynette Woodard is really special. I have never had the honor of meeting Lynette Woodard until today, and it was a real privilege. She was my role model growing up, one of mine. Unbelievable player, played first female Harlem Globetrotter, couple Olympics. I mean, she is special, and she is so graceful, and just her opportunity to have her come in the locker room and to introduce her to the Hawkeyes was really meaningful.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that you see Ohio State again within a week. So the fact that you guys evened up to score, what does that mean going into possibly another battle with them on a neutral site?
This conference is so incredible. You know, I mean, 2 top 10 teams just battling it out right here today from the Big Ten. And it's going to go down, you know, next week. Are you kidding? It's going to be the amazing Big Ten tournament. But, you know, we could see them, but, you know, both of us have got to get through a couple games in order for that to happen. And, you know, we'll just, you know, if we have that opportunity, we'll welcome it.
Coach, wondering if, when you look at what Caitlin did today versus the other records she set even in recent days, does this one stick out in terms of what this is going to do for women's sports moving forward?
You know, I hope it advances women's sports even more. But to me, you don't have to break a man's record to be recognized. You don't have to do that. You know, I think breaking Lynette's record was significant. And so to me, yeah, you know, I mean, I admire Pistol Pete, but at the same time, I just don't want that to be the bar for women's athletics.
How were you able to kind of hold them off? They of course, just kept coming. But in the second half, you seemed to find an answer.
Yeah, you know, they got it down, and then Caitlin, I think, knocked it up. You know, that sounded terrible. Everybody's got to erase that right now.
Right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lordy me. Thank you, baby. Caitlin hit a 3 and got us back on track. And so, you know, they're not going to let down. I mean, we had them up by 12 at their place, and they didn't back down, right? We knew it was going to happen.
Just talk about that right there at the end of the first half. I mean, 0.3 of a second left. You guys scored 6 points.
They took away her too, which, yeah.
4 points count. How big of a factor was that emotionally that Hannah was able to get fouled, not those 2 free throws, and then Caitlin got the record out of the way then?
Absolutely. Tremendous momentum going into halftime. We thought it counted going into halftime, and even if it didn't, we still did it, right? Like, we still executed and did it. And some of that mentally just helps your confidence. And so, you know, that was an unbelievable play, unbelievable pass by Kate Martin, and they executed it beautifully. So we'll put that one up our sleeve and use it again later.
6 offensive rebounds, and you're doing that against players like Coda McMahon, Felicikova, and those 2 in particular were trying to be provocateurs, I don't know how to pronounce that word today. What's it like to go up against people competing like that and to put up numbers like these?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I say that a lot, I'm sorry. Okay, I think it's great going up against people who are at the top of the league. Like, it's making me better, it's making them better, and I think that's what we all want out of basketball. So.
You're a player that.
I'm guessing you don't need much motivation going against the number 2 team in the country, but the fact that you had that loss, I'm guessing it wasn't a game that you were happy with last January, so how much was that in the back of your mind?
I think that's a big motivator for all of us. We've been thinking about it since it happened, and we just wanted to get it back. So.
Coach, wonder if there's a teaching moment for all the kids out there who watched what Caitlin did just before halftime. Everyone was probably wondering if it would be a 3, some kind of crazy, 2 with an and 1, but she did it at the foul line. What's the coaching lesson to take away that she did it with a free throw?
Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. Yeah, those free throws are important, and she's very, very good. I mean, she shoots our technical fouls for us, and that was the one that tied, right? Tied it?
And put it over.
Oh, and put it over. Okay. Well, yeah, go back to fundamentals, everybody, right? I'm kind of glad it wasn't a logo 3. I'm sure she would like it to be a logo 3, but I'm glad it wasn't.
Lisa, what do days like this mean to you as a head coach?
You know, it's emotional because of the people that are, the 5 seniors, but it's more like we had game day here. We had great recruits here. We had all these people that came to watch our team, and they've been there for us all year long. I mean, they've been there since the crossover in Kinnick. And to think about when we started that with 56,000 people nearly there in Kinnick to now, today where you can't even get a seat at one of our games, it is so meaningful because they are helping propel women's sport.
Follow up on that, obviously 24 years ago, that probably wasn't something that was in your mind. What would you tell yourself 24 years ago about today?
I don't know if I could imagine that. We actually, 24 years ago, Jenny and I came in here one time into Carver and said, we're going to fill this place up someday. I don't know if any of us ever thought we'd really do it, but it happened. And so it's special to share it with them. I mean, Jan and Jenny and I have been together for so long, and I'm just so thankful for their loyalty and how hard they work. They're amazing, and I'm just very thankful to share this with them.
Lisa, your team has been the rock stars of college basketball now for a year, but certainly during this season. It is a lot of pressure for the women to perform each and every day, yet they seem to do that, whether they win or lose, but for the most part win. What's it like to be around people that mentally tough, and how does that help you guys reach this point in the season?
I always feel that basketball is such a great way to teach those life lessons, and we talk about it a lot. Like, how can we be better people? How can we prepare ourselves not for the next 4 years that they're here, but the next 40 years of their life? How are they going to take the lessons from basketball and use that moving forward? And being mentally strong is really hard, really good to be able to learn that. Bouncing back from failure is hard, but we all fail. Every one of us fails. Maybe except for South Carolina right now, but the rest of us, we have to learn how to deal with that. And if they can learn that lesson while they're here, then it's more than just winning games.
Hannah, what did you get from last year's postseason, both Big Ten and then NCAA, that's going to help you now headed into your second postseason?
I think just having confidence in my abilities and in the team, and not stressing about anything. And doing my homework before we leave.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for covering us all year long, you guys. I really do appreciate it.
Lisa, did you know who Travis Scott was before you saw him?
A few weeks ago, I asked you about when you went to games as a little kid and you had to look for autographs and photos. Who you look for? And the only name I think you mentioned was Maya Moore. Got a chance to give her a hug today again before the game. Which hug felt more special, the one kid, Caitlin or adult Caitlin?
I think they both kind of have a different magnitude to them. I think the one when I was younger was like, I was just a young girl, and that's why I loved women's basketball. It was because of her and how good the Lynx were, and obviously a lot of other people as well. But I wanted to be just like her. I thought I was going to go to UConn when I was growing up, but obviously that's not what happened. But and then obviously for her to be here and surprise me was pretty special. And I felt like I was that young girl again. And it's crazy how life can come full circle. And I think more than anything, like she's just such a great role model, a great person, not only a great basketball player.
Kaylin, you guys were rolling along there in the first half, and then Molly goes down, and kind of a ominous just energy in the building. They cut it to 4 from 10. Just how did you guys kind of stabilize things and refocus and what was obviously a tough moment?
Yeah, I think that's kind of just speaks to our cultures. Like, it's always next man up. Obviously, it's hard watching an injury like that, and I didn't see it. I think a lot of us had our backs turned to it, but Molly's somebody that gives so much and plays so hard. I think, you kind of just want to do it for her, so it almost gives you energy in a way. It doesn't take it away, and I think they went on a little run, and then we kind of gathered ourselves, and I thought Sydney came in and played great, and I thought Kylie came in and played really, really well, and that's what we're going to need going forward. So I'm proud of our group. When they went on their runs, I thought we always had a response. So
What has this day been like?
It's been a lot, but this is what's so fun and so special, and like this is what we've built here, and these are the moments you dream of, and obviously our fans were incredible. It kind of feels like you're living in a little bit of delusion because this is just so awesome, and to celebrate our seniors and 4 other people that have meant so much to me and given so much to this program, it's really awesome. And I felt like we played a very dominant basketball game. It felt like we were in control of the game the entire time. Even when they made shots, we always had an answer. I thought we handled their press well. I thought we just played a really good, complete basketball game. Obviously, there's always ways we can improve, but it's special, obviously, with the people in the building, the fans that we have, college game day being here, it being sold out, it being senior night. There's a lot to manage from all different areas, but I think our group is pretty mature in that area, and, we've kind of balanced it for the last couple of years, and it seemed to give us energy more than anything.
Hey, you mentioned Kylie Feuerbach and her play. It kind of seemed like every single defensive possession she was getting a deflection or a steal. What did that do for her?
Yeah, I've played with Kylie since I've played in AAU, and that's how she's always played. She always just has a really good eye for the ball, and she gets her hands in passing lane. She's quick. She's got long arms. I think she got quite a few deflections that led to either her making a layup, led to Gabby making a 3, or just giving us an extra possession on the other end. So I think her coming in and giving us that spark was super huge, and obviously something we're going to need moving forward.
What do you think about breaking the record from the line?
Honestly, I didn't really care. It was cool to hear everybody just start screaming, and I thought that gave us a lot of momentum going into halftime. Even that sequence, even though they wiped off the 2 points, we kind of just threw a party after we made that shot, even though it didn't count. So that was pretty fun. But I thought it gave us a lot of momentum going into halftime. And I guess I'm just glad to make the free throws. That's the hardest thing to do in basketball is make free throws with nobody at the free throw line. So.
So that even though that shot didn't count before the half, you guys still celebrated as if it was something that you guys still did. How big was that stretch? Even though it wasn't 6, but that 4-point stretch right there before half.
It was huge. It was a huge swing, and obviously I wish the shot counted, but I wasn't surprised that they wiped it off. 0.3 seconds is not a lot of time, and but even Hannah stepping up and making 2 free throws for us was huge, and then I make 2. It's kind of takes the air out of them after they had just gone down and made a layup, and we were coming back to the other end right before halftime. So I think that gave us a lot of momentum going into half, and we kind of just carried that, and our vibe in the locker room was super positive. I felt like we played a good half. There's a few things that we could have cleaned up, and came out in the second half and really just dominated, especially in the third quarter.
Found out that it was a free throw that put you over the top. She said she was happy that it wasn't a logo throw. What do you think of that? Do you hear the coach just saying it wasn't?
She's probably glad that I'm attacking the basket more and not shooting as many bombs, but she's always on me to get to the free throw line. Those are easy points, and we always want to get the other team in foul trouble, and I thought we did a good job of that today. They kind of battled foul trouble all day, and but yeah, she's probably just glad I'm getting free easy points for us.
You rather had to be a logo 3?
Sorry, what was that?
You rather had to be a logo 3?
I don't really care. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah.
4 years ago, you were hyping up your dog's cardboard cutout after the game winner against Iowa State, and then now you look around, Travis Scott's courtside, Maya Moore's here, Jake from State Farm's here. How did it happen?
Oh gosh. I think just being me is just the biggest thing. Is I've just had fun, and I've loved every single second I've been here. I've loved every single second I've gone to practice, played in a game. Obviously, there's been ups and downs, and I think the biggest part of my maturity and growth has been able to handle that and balance everything that's going on and around me and the noise around me. And obviously, it can be hard at times, but I would never change that for the world. But I think, people that are showing up and coming to our games, like, they really love the way our team plays. Like, they're cheering for everyone. Like, when Gabby makes a three, when Kate makes a three, like, you can just feel, like, the energy and the joy and the excitement that our team plays with, and that's contagious. Our fans give us that energy, but we give it right back to them, and I think that's what's been so fun about this whole ride is the style of basketball we play is, like, people love it. They're not just here for me. I'm sure I help, but at the end of the day, we have a really great team and a really great culture, and that's what makes it so fun.
Senior Day ceremony, the MC reflected on how this is a record for all of college basketball, making a point of saying this wasn't a men's record or women's record.
Yeah.
And you also made a point of saying that we're looking at a team that gets followed, that has sellout crowds like you haven't seen in the past. Just wondering if today's moment, if this record sticks out from the others for you in terms of what you want people to take away from it.
Honestly, like, no, not in this moment, I would say. I feel like this is a lot of everything that's gone on the past couple weeks and even the past couple months. I feel like I'm so focused on helping this team win and be so great that it's, like, hard for me to wrap my head around everything that's going on. I think I'm just trying to soak in the moment. A record is a record. I don't want that to be the reason people remember me. I hope people remember me for the way I played with a smile on my face, my competitive fire. Sure, they can remember the wins, but also just, like, the fun me and my teammates had together. And I think, like, that's even the same for my teammates. Like, sure, we'll talk about great wins that we had and things like that, but it's all the other moments that mean the most to us. And I think the same should go for everyone else.
Caleb, what was today like for you? I mean, did you wake up at 4 and couldn't sleep, or did you wake up at 8 and you felt great? I mean, what was kind of your morning routine like?
Honestly, like, I had to wake up at, like, my alarm was for 6:22 a.m. So I woke up and I came here. We had shoot around, and I think it's good to have shoot around, get moving a little bit. And then obviously, like, the place is just chaos, kind of a zoo here with all the people. So you're trying to balance, like, your normal routine with also enjoying the environment. And I think our girls did a really good job with that. And obviously having game day last year probably helped, and we knew what to expect coming in here. And I think I just tried to, go about it the same way I always go about it. Obviously, I would have liked to shoot a little better tonight and play a little better and maybe not turn the ball over so many times in the first half. But overall, I thought we played really well. I thought our energy was contagious. I thought Hannah Stuelke was really, really good tonight. But yeah, I mean, I tried to keep my routine as similar as I could.
16-game winning streak going into today's game. And like you said, you guys pretty much controlled the game.
Mm-hmm.
You think Iowa made a big statement today, nationally?
Yeah, I think we did. I also think this is a game, like, we're favored in. We should probably win. It's on senior day. You always want to send your seniors out the right way. But also, I think we had a lot of confidence. We went back and watched the Ohio State game this week from when we played them previously. And we felt like we should have won that game. We were up 12 in the fourth quarter, and then we kind of just did it to ourselves. We missed free throws. We missed layups. We didn't execute on defense. I thought our defense was so much better tonight versus them. I thought we caused them, like, a lot of problems in the paint area. Obviously, they made some tough baskets. I thought JC was really good tonight. I think, you can say this is a statement, but I think more than anything, it's just good momentum for our team. Going into the Big Ten tournament, you never want to go into the Big Ten tournament on a loss. So I think building off this is really important. And Coach Bluder always has us playing our best basketball during this time. So I'm just proud of our group.
You mentioned Hannah's play today. You mentioned Hannah's play today.
Go ahead.
You mentioned Hannah's play today. In the first match, it was Cody McMahon with 33 points today. Hannah has 23 points, 9 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. Just talk about her play today.
I thought Hannah came up with a lot of big offensive rebounds, especially in the second half, where it kind of got stuck around 10, and Hannah would come up with a big one here and there. I thought she was aggressive. I thought she, pump faked a little more, kind of got them in a little bit more foul trouble. But this is what Hannah's capable of every night. I think it's just her confidence and believing in herself. I thought she made some big free throws. But yeah, I think she played really, really well, and obviously that's going to be important going down the stretch. Go ahead.
Talk about how big this Ohio State rivalry has grown since your freshman year, and it still possibly might be going in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ohio State's a team that's always battled us really, really well. Obviously, we went there last year and we beat them. I think they beat us here the year previously. We beat them in the Big Ten tournament. So it kind of goes back and forth a little bit, and I think that's what makes it so fun. And they're a very, very talented group, and a lot of their core have been there since I've been playing. So we've had a lot of fun battles.
Okay,
Thank you, guys.
Okay, I'm going to ask the same question in a little bit different way.
Okay.
You have now scored more points than anyone who has ever played Division I, men's or women's basketball. As much as you say that record isn't what you're thinking about, when you hear it like that, Is that going to hit you at some point?
Oh, for sure. Like it's really like crazy to think about. Like honestly, if you would have told me that before my college career started, I would have laughed in your face and been like, no, you're insane. And like I've always been able to score the ball, but I don't think people really understand how many amazing players have come before me and like been able to score the ball and do it at such a high rate and do it for teams that are really, really good. And just to be in the same realm of all these players that have been so successful, whether it's Pete or whether it's Kelsey Plum or Lynette Woodard, like all these people have just given so much to the game. So, hopefully somebody comes after me and breaks my records and I can be there supporting them. And that's what makes the game of basketball so fun. But yeah, it'll definitely hit me at some point. Thanks.